Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video I'm going to be working on the real freelance project I have currently at the moment. So my client wants me to scrape all the data from on the market. By saying all the data, I mean the properties for all the UK postcodes and outcodes to be exact, because like the UK postcodes contains two parts: the outcode and the incode, outwards code, inwards code. So all the errors regarding the outwards codes, like they suggest in here in the search bar on the sites, like on the market, same is for Rightmove, same is for Zoopla as well. And the reason why I'm doing this, for those of you who has been following my web scraping tutorials for quite a bit of time, probably know that when you're making a tutorial, it's slightly a bit different flow compared to when you're doing an actual job. So this video is not really gonna be that much of a tutorial, even though I'll be explaining every single line of code and step I'm doing along the way. But still, I just want to show you this kind of process, real process. The process that happens kind of on the real deal. So how I actually work for money. So this is the paid project, of course, and the code I'll create in this video, I'll send to my client, and well, that's the reason, by the way, why I'm not going to share the source code. So the only reason to obtain it would be just to follow the entire tutorial and type the code from screen. So that's this is kind of the trick to encourage you guys to watch the entire video if you would be interested in this, basically. And I just want to show how it feels like to do the real job. So you would be able to get some sort of an understanding of like how it feels to be a freelancer who's an expert in the web scraping and all the stuff like that. So if you're interested, let's actually start working on this project. So first I need to enter some sort of a UK postcode, and I just want to try DAY. It's really kind of random, it doesn't really matter that much. And what I want to see here, so we already got a list of properties, which is basically great, but I don't yet really see okay, so the location is given over here, and also it does provide us to make this distance radius. So I used to use actually 3 miles radius. I'm not really sure. Okay, so here okay, here it is, basically. So you see, like, the URL has been changed at the moment, and this is already kind of the workable URL I'm supposed to work with. And I don't know, maybe using a list would be slightly a bit better compared to using a grid. So let me just try this as well. I'm not sure if this was a JavaScript, basically. So let me just go back for a while. Oh, probably if I just don't specify the view equals to grid, then by default it would probably just give me a list. Okay, great. So no need even to specify that the view needs to be equal to list or something like that. So just to make it more like it looks on Zoopla or Rightmove or whatever. But I think probably the extraction logic won't really be that much different. So now our goal is not just simply to scrape this data, as I was doing in numerous tutorials. Even I even have a SCRAPY framework crash course that scrapes data from on the market already, and just with extracting all of this: price, title, address, short description, and all the stuff available here. So here we need something different. So we'll need to just navigate through the link and to extract really lots of data out of this specific card for every property. So all these descriptions, all the stuff needs to be extracted, even including the floor plans. So this sort of image needs to be scraped as well. So basically I think I'm already ready to start writing some code. So without further ado, let's actually dive in. So here in the it's not yet a current working directory, it's just the directory containing the scrapers I have already implemented for my client. So here I just invoke my terminal and create a new SCRAPY project by typing SCRAPY start project, and I'll call this project on the market by the name of the site itself. And okay, so here is the on the market project being successfully created here, and well, this is the casual SCRAPY project structure. I'm not gonna be diving much into this. It's just the settings files, item exporters, middlewares, pipelines, and all this stuff. And we need this folder called spiders, where would be actually implementing the where we will be implementing our spiders. So I will need to scrape commercial properties sale and rent, and also residential sale, rent, and new homes, and maybe something else, but now let's focus on this ones. So it seems like I just used the for sale, but let's actually move to commercials, because I used to start with commercials. So let's try to search this stuff again, and let's specify the miles. So okay, and I want to view the grid basically, but why to rent? I need for sale basically. It's just I'm used to start with a for sale, so I'm not sure if this is spelled like this, but I hope it is basically. Okay, shop for sale, great. So so yeah, okay, but for some reason, okay, yeah, here is the postcode available. Okay, so we can already make use of this kind of link. Okay guys, I'm sorry, just it's really different. So when you're making tutorials, it's completely different when you're doing your job actually. So if I would stop at some point, don't judge me too much for that, please, because it's kind of quite a bit of different work when you're teaching people, or when you're making the job yourself. This is really different. Okay, in any case, I need to create a document, and I call this commercial sale.py. So the file structure is the same in all the scrapers I'm making, and here just invoke my code editor and also invoke the terminal in the current working directory, so just being able to run the code there. So the first thing to consider, we need to import packages, and here I say import SCRAPY, then from SCRAPY.crawler import crawler process to be able crawler process to be able to run this spider from within a Python script, because at the very end I'll be running a bunch of scripts, so commercial sale, commercial rent, and all this all the scrapers in the GUI. Also there would be an ability to run them in parallel, but well, usually my clients used to run the scrapers in a GUI. And also, just in order to avoid torturing the site itself, we'll need to make use of a custom selectors in order to be able to extract data from the HTML document outside the response context. So in order to achieve that, we need to say from SCRAPY.selector we need import selector like this, and here we need to create a scraper class basically. So I call this on the market class, on the market, or maybe let's make it like this, on the market scraper class. And here I say class, and I'm not going to call this on the market, because there would be up to 5 of those, and we'll need a different class names when running the spiders in the quiz. So this one would be called commercial sale, like this, and it would inherit from the basic SCRAPY.spider, which is the general purpose spider, while the name can be the same like on the market within all the scrapers that would be done in the future. Okay, and now it's time to specify the base URL. Okay, and here we actually can start making use of this guy. Also, we will probably need to create parameters, but probably okay. So the only parameter here seems to be just the radius and nothing much, because you know, like in Zoopla I had slightly bit more parameters. So let me just quickly check that out as well. Just don't really remember exactly it was implemented over there. So let's see the commercial sale for Zoopla. So this is one of the code that is already accepted by the client. Okay, so here's lots of parameters, but literally yeah, the only thing that really did matter here was the radius and the page number. I'm just also wondering, search query parameters, I'm just really wondering if the page numbers are also to be somewhat similar to Zoopla or not. So is it only two properties over here? I'm really wondering why just two properties, and that's kind of it. Well, let's try to pick up another postcode. Maybe here would be just a slightly bit more properties. Okay, so it seems like it's more properties over here. So I just want to have a look how it would how the next page. Okay, so it's just the page query here, and that's kind of it. But the page 1 actually seems to be the page 2, so it starts from the page 0 basically. And let me just try to find out if I specify the page 0, if this would be the very first page actually or not. Okay. Well, I guess it is. Well, maybe if only I just remove this page at all, and yeah, this is it. This is the very first page. So I can basically use page equals to 0 and radius equals to 3 miles here. Great. So, and I got exactly the same page. So this is kind of it. This is nice. So let's add some commentaries. So this would be the scraper name. Maybe call the spider more scrape specific. So spider name here, and by the way, oh, someone liked my commentary. Great. You know, like probably just to keep the code structure the same, I would try to follow the commentary names exactly. So yeah, spider name, base URL, search query parameters. So spider name, base URL. So is that base URL, right? Search query parameters. Search query parameters. And here create a params variable that would be the type of Python dictionary, and here we need to specify our radius. So just cut this. So I specify the radius that would be equal to 3 miles, and also the page would be equal to 0, like this. So let me just see, how did I specify? So yeah, the page number was already specified in there, and then within the crawling logic I was just changing this kind of stuff here. Okay, this is kind of this is kind of great. Okay, so also I forgot to import one more important thing, so we need to say from urllib dot parse, oh, maybe just import the urllib. Okay, import the urllib just to be able to convert this like dictionary type of parameters into the string query parameters like in this format. So just to bear that in mind as well. Okay. Let me now think if I am already okay. So another useful thing to consider would be just to use the headers, and I'm using the only user agent here. That's kind of enough here, and also some custom settings for the spider, so my client will be able to play around with the download timeout and the delay and things like that. So I just grab this part as well. So I'm sorry guys, usually of course in my tutorials I'm writing this from scratch every time, but here I really need to make sure that the structure of the code is exactly the same like in previous scrapers, just to make sure that I'm actually having the same structure within through all of the code. Okay, and also we'll need to keep track of the current page, so starting from 1, but in our case we'll be starting from 0 basically, and also obtain the list of the postcodes, which source will be taken from the JSON file that I will add to the project just right in the moment. So I will also grab this as well. Okay. It's for sure it's really far easier to follow the guidelines you're creating in your previous work compared to creating them from scratch. So when everything is already debugged and works and the client is happy, well, that's always better compared to starting from scratch. But sometimes, but in order to achieve that, you actually need to start doing from scratch once. So okay, now let's create this logic. So yeah, so we need to initialize the list of the postcodes, and let me just explain why exactly we need to do this. So see this postcode part. So we need to loop over all the postcodes available in the file that I'll introduce you just right in the moment, and we'll be looping over this postcodes to crawl kind of all the properties available on the market site. So if I just go to, so here it is basically the postcodes.json, so just copy this postcodes and going back to on the market spiders and just paste this in. Great. And okay, let me just try to see this. So here are my postcodes. So I just yeah, so just okay, this is Zoopla version. Okay, so here are the postcodes. You see this location identifiers. These guys were Rightmove site specific because it doesn't use the postcode directly like Zoopla or On the Market do. Here you see it's just a part of the URL itself, so it then just converts that somehow to obtain the data we need. But within the Rightmove, we did need to convert them to outcode location identifier in this like format. So I need to create an extra scraper that actually produces this postcodes.json file. But in this current project, what we need is just to obtain the list of this kind of codes, and yeah, this is kind of it. So now let's create a constructor. Just let me see constructor in it. Yeah. Constructor initializer, basically constructor init. So I say def init. So when the scraper instance is created, what we need, so it takes the self instance. What we need to create actually, we need we need to populate this postcodes list with the postcodes taken from this file. So the first thing to consider, okay, so just want to make sure the commentaries are the same. Okay, I just write the file logic. I just write the logic first, and then I would be adding the commentaries. So I created the content variable, which is the type of Python string and would contain the content of the postcodes.json in the textual format. Okay, also I forgot to import JSON because we'll need to convert the string JSON data to the Python dictionary. And here we say with open postcodes.json, and we want to read the file stream as file, and for line in f.read we need to populate the content plus equals line. And now we actually need to convert our content to Python dictionary, and in order to do that we need to say content equals json.loads and the content itself. And now we need to populate well, we can actually try to print our content here. So okay, but I'm not really yet ready to start crawling logic. So here I create the main driver. Not sure if I really calling this. Well, probably this is the main driver. So I say if name equals to main. In this case, we need to create the scraper instance. Let me just see how exactly I call this in the commentary. So run scraper, great. So here we go, run scraper, and we create a process that would be the instance of the crawler process, and then we just simply say process.crawl, and the argument would be the commercial cell in our case, the name of the spider we're crawling with, and process.start. Okay, so from now on I believe we should be able to actually run this stuff, I believe. Okay, so I just simply say python 3 commercial sale.py. Okay, invalid syntax within the initializer. Yeah, I forgot to put a comma here. Great. Okay, so see here, it seems like, yeah, he did convert my postcodes.json file to some sort of a Python dictionary. I mean the list of Python dictionaries, and now we can actually loop over that, and so we can simply say here for postcode in JSON loads content, we need to say, well, probably I will alter the names of the variables so they match how it's already done in the Zoopless scraper. But the gist is I want to say self.postcodes .append, and we need to make use of postcode, and how is this key called? Postcode. Okay, postcode, and well, let's also print, well, let's just try to print self.postcodes to make sure that we did initialize those correctly. Okay, seems like the list of postcodes is available, and now let's just make sure that the variable names are exactly the same. Okay, so where is that? Okay, for item in JSON loads content. Okay, for item. Yeah, this sounds much better. So for item, I'm really sorry guys, you know, like when I'm making the tutorial it's completely different. I don't care that much about the variable names, but you know, like when you work in a really highly paid job, this tiny little details really matter that much. So that's why I'm paying that much attention to this sort of details. Okay, let's try to run this one more time and hope to see the exact output. Okay, so here we got a list. Great. So we don't need to print our postcodes anymore, and now let me just grab the commentaries. So any postcodes list, yeah, well, it's not really the list, it's the string, but it doesn't matter, it would become a list later on. Rate postcodes file. Oh, it's not really that correct basically, because any postcode list is actually it's here. Probably it's better beneath postcodes content like this. So okay, now can I basically move to this, to defining the very main start request method? Well, I believe I can. So start requests, can I just wanna, okay, so I call this the general crawler. Okay, general crawler. Okay, yeah, so one of the very important things is just to define the file name, by the way. Okay, so here is the general crawler, and I say def start requests is the SCRAPY specific entry point to for the entire spider scrolling logic. So when the scraper instance, when the spider instance is being created, it first looks, well, after this constructor code is done, it looks for the start request method. So it only takes the self argument, and here we need to do the bunch of stuff. And as far, this is really kind of sensitive from the client's perspective. I really need I just grab this stuff because it's very important to keep the file name structure correct basically. And what is this, postcodes? So this count variable is used for the debugging purposes, so later on in the code, client can keep track of which code in particular is being crawled at the moment. And basically, okay, so it's probably okay. I just probably grab the entire stuff here and better explain the code, because like it's really like for those of you who don't believe that I can write this on my own, please feel free to check out my SCRAPY tutorials. So here I just really need to be really precise. Okay, so first thing we need is to create the output folder, otherwise it won't just work. So I'm creating the output folder here, and the file name would be so what are we doing here? So it's the path, the first part of the path to our output file name. So it would be called commercial sale, and then we're using the current datetime. By the way, in order to being able to use that, we need to import datetime as well. So let me just say it would be more pretty to import it here. Import datetime. Okay, so now we're looping over the postcodes. So okay, also self current page. Do we have current page? Yeah, but the current page needs to be equal to 1. Also, we need to reset the current page to 0 every time we're crawling a new postcode. So once I forgot to put this line basically, and that turned out as a complete disaster basically, because the current page counter wasn't reset correctly, and that ended up with getting the wrong data, which is not really that great. Okay, and also here the Zoopla specific code did actually force us to use the postcode within the query. Here, if you just see, see the query is now empty, but the Zoopla also has, it doesn't only have, let me explain. So right, the on the market has this kind of postcode only as the part of the URL, but not as the part of the string parameters, while Zoopla does. So we also did need to specify that as well, but well, here we don't really need that. So we just don't need this line of code at all. And here, so I'll just get back there in a moment. Okay, so count postcodes. Well, count is probably just fine here. So okay, so what is this line all about? So next postcode self base URL plus, okay, so the self base URL, now we need to alter this a little bit because it already did contain our postcode, which is not the case obviously, so we just need to get rid of this at the moment. And okay, so probably just before proceeding here, we can just simply print the current postcode just to see how we actually loop over all the postcodes available there. So if I just run this one more time, I'll probably see just them following one by one. So we'll be using each postcode to create a new, I call this next postcode URL. So the next postcode variable contains the URL for the next postcode to crawl. So here, as far as crawling all the postcodes available, so the self base URL, which is this one, okay, and yeah, and by the way, when we then will be switching to commercial rent or residential rent or sale or new homes or whatever, it would be just a matter of changing the file name and the base URL and maybe a couple more parameters, but that's literally it. So you just make one scraper and then you just change a couple line of codes, and then you just have yet another deliverable, which is really great. Okay, so postcode.lower, so this is exactly the same as it goes in Zoopla. So if you see the postcodes here in the JSON file, they were the upper cases, but the URL has them lower cases, so we need to convert them to lower cases as well. So this is what we basically do. I'm not sure. Okay, so it has to contain slash at the end of the base URL, and then this slash, and then URL lib parse URL encode. So this, what this does, so URL lib.parse.URL encode. URL encode method does allow us to convert the parameters, this kind of guys, to, as I was mentioning, to this sort of a format as explained over here. So I'm not basically that sure regarding the page. Well, probably the page should have been the same there. Okay, probably it's time to print the next postcode URL just in order to make sure that it looks reasonable. Okay, so commercial for sale, commercial property page. So now so just in order to test whether this works or not, let's try to grab one random URL here and go into our browser and paste and go, and I hope to see some properties. Great, so here is the WS7. Okay guys, sorry, I was distracted for a while, just made a cup of hot milk for myself because I don't really feel that great in these days. Okay, so where did we start basically? So I believe, yeah, so we did output the list of all the postcodes within the on the market site, but of course we won't really be crawling all of them during the time of debugging our spider. Instead we'll just kind of we'll just break here just for the debugging purposes, and I hope to see just the only one URL. Okay, this one. So let's just try to see if any pagination is being available there or not. So this is DA1. Okay, but yeah, unfortunately it's not really that much. But okay, I can go for some sort of a trick in order to make it slightly different. The very main thing is just not to forget to turn it back. So here I'll use the CR0, which will probably have a couple more of pages. Well, even though it doesn't really mean that much at the moment, but I believe, okay, so now it's CR0, okay, and I just grab this. Yeah, the very main thing is just not to forget to put it back after to DA1 basically. Okay, so here I just want to see the CR0, and probably it has to be 2 pages as it was previously, I believe. Yeah, so kind of 2 pages here. Great, the page 0, and let me recall the image. Yeah, it seems like this exactly the same image. Great. Okay, so the next thing to consider here is actually we need to yield the SCRAPY request, and after we also will need to update the count in order to being able to count the postcodes correctly. And let's dive into this code. So SCRAPY.request just makes an outgoing HTTP request. So we're specifying the URL. It would be equal to the next postcode, the exact one. We don't need to print this anymore. So the exact one that was formulated using the base URL plus postcode lower plus encoded URL string parameters, and also. Here we'll so what this meta stands for. So if we need to forward the data between the different layers within our scraper, we can make use of this meta container. Let's call this container, right? So this guys like postcode, file name, and account would be available within the parse links method that we'll implement just right in the moment. And we'll need that to actually make use of the file name, just to being able to forward that even further on to the parse listing method that we'll implement later on, and also the count, it would be needed just to show some debugging information, and the postcode would be needed, yeah, just to forward that to the listing. So we'll have the postcode within the output file as well. Okay, it's really easier than it might seem basically. So here I'm not sure, it's probably called the parse links. Let me just parse property links. Okay, parse property links. So parse property links, and here we're defining the method. I'm saying def parse links. I just grab that. Yeah, parse links. It will take the self instance as an argument and the response object as the second. And now we need to extract our meta variables. So let me just see, extract forward the data. Okay, so let me just basically grab this code. And what we have here, so we're extracting the postcode that we're crawling through, and the file name that was generated here, and also the count. And just to show you how it works, I just want to say print postcode, and then the file name, and then the count. So if I just run this scraper one more time, we'll see these 3 variables being forwarded. It just makes the outgoing HTTP request now to the particular URL endpoint, and here it is. So the postcode we have is CR0, the file name, well, it's not the bare file name, but the entire but the entire path to the file, but doesn't matter really. Still, it just uses the current date to generate the file name, and the count is equal to 1, which is also okay. So let's move on. Now we need to extract the links for every single card. So if just here we can say just open the new tab, probably the same would happen, yeah, if we just do this within the price, I believe. So and this actually will need this unique identifier, and all the main data would be scraped actually from this page, and this would be actually slightly bit different compared to how it was on Zupa or on the Rightmove because the data structure is slightly bit different, so the selectors actually would be different as well. Okay, but let me actually follow the structure of my previous code. So okay, parse property links. So here already I'm actually bringing the debugging information. So okay, let's just copy this as well. So just copy. So what are we doing here? Well, instead of what I've just done in a dumb way, it does this more or less kind of professional way. Yeah, but more professional would be using self-lock instead of print, but still. Okay, so we're printing the current postcodes and the count and the length of the postcodes, so we can actually understand how many which postcode in particular is actually being crawled at this moment. So let me just try to run this scraper one more time just to see. Okay, so postcode CR01 of 1316 postcodes. Okay, great. So what else? So parse links, loop over property card links, and here what are we doing here? We're extracting the listing and yielding this, and this part of the code allows us to handle the pagination, which is a different story. Well, it's not different, but for now on we need only just to loop over the property cards. So let me just grab this, and we need to extract, so this variable will be called the listing, and we need to use this as the URL. And did I provide the headers, by the way? I'm just wondering. Okay, I did provide the headers. So headers equals self headers allows to mimic, not mimic, to spoof the user agent. So the user agent would be this my browser one instead of scrapy version, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. Okay, so now let's actually move on. So I just paste my commentary. So loop over property cards. So by saying loop over property cards, what I mean is, so these guys are the property cards. So let's view the page source. We don't need this stuff. Oh no, we don't even need the page source. Just to inspect the element would be just fairly enough in this case. So inspect div details gradient. Well, I'm not sure, it's not really that one, even though it seems to be. Okay, so list user list properties. Okay, list item class property result property result and panel. So probably I'll make use of this one, so just copy. So I just simply say for card in response.css, and we're looking for the list items with the class of property result, and this is it basically. And okay, and now we need to simply grab the current listing URL. So I just create the listing variable here, and this would be equal to card.css. Remember that the card would be type of Scrapy selector, which is great. And yes, you remember I did actually import the selector, but it's pretty trivial to extract the links for each particular card, for each card in particular, and no need to store the response in order to extract that. So we just can allow us to make a couple extra requests just to debug our crawling logic here. But when we'll be extracting the data out of the list in itself, in that case we'll definitely store our response. So now within every single card we need, well, probably let's make use of this one. So what is there? So there is an A. I'm not sure how many basically A tags here. Well, we can actually use this span title and then take the link from within there. So say span dot title, and again dot response dot dot css, and we need to extract the the A tag and the attribute of the H reference, and we need to get one basically. So let's try to print our listing here. So there should be I don't know how many, 25 per page, or how many there of those listings. So I need to I hope to see the list of links. Okay, so details, channel commercial, and yeah, so from now on we can basically use response that follow this standard SCRAPY method of crawling, of recursive crawling, and that's kind of it. So let me just have a look at the structure again. So this would be details. Oh, probably it would use the base URL by default itself. I really believe that would happen actually. Okay, so now we can make use of this response.follow. So I need this line, copy, and paste in this over here. So let's have a look at this line of code basically. So we're following the response, which is the standard SCRAPY functionality to crawl recursive links. So the URL in this case would be the listing, which we've just extracted. So we also make use of the same headers as before, and also we're forwarding this metadata even more to the next level. And in this case the callback function would be called the parse listing. Then we'll be actually extracting the client sensitive data. By the way, this data would be used for some machine learning purposes, so we'll be using this method in order to extract the actual data out of each particular list in there. And also what else? Also I just don't really want to crawl all of them at the moment, so I just want to break here for a while. Also, I'm not going to specify the crawling next page logic just right in the moment, because we don't need this at the moment. And here I would say just simply parse listing. Oh, I'm not sure how the commentary is named, is called exactly. So let me quickly check that. Parse property listings. Great name. Okay, so parse property listings, and here def parse listing. Is that the parse listing or listings? Parse listing. Okay, parse listing, and again it takes the self instance as the first argument and the response object as the second. Okay, and here the actual data extraction begins, but let me again just see what exactly we need here. So first we need to extract the forwarded data, and here please know that we don't extract count anymore. Well, the reason why I did actually pass this count here, this would make sense when crawling multiple pages. Well, probably if it's not even needed over in here basically, but I just make it just in order to avoid getting mashed up, because when I was debugging this, like it was just easier to add this everywhere on the way instead of trying to really find out where exactly it needs to be added and where not. So just to make sure there wouldn't be any bugs. But in particular, within the parse listings, we only need to extract the postcode and the file name. So the postcode is needed to be added to the postcode as the part as one of the features, while the file name would be used actually to write the JSON file there. Okay, so let's actually make use of this forwarded data now. Save. So we already can make use of this. And now the very interesting part begins. So this is kind of the extract features, and what I'm supposed to do now, I'm actually supposed to grab the entire dictionary, and I will probably pause the record and just get rid of this selectors, because of course obviously they're different compared to Zoopla. It would be completely different. That would be the data extraction logic that we'll create in this particular video. And the reason why I still want to leave this feature names, well, because that's the desire of my client, because when you do machine learning and processing large amounts of data, it's really nice, and it saves lots of time when the similar data has this, exactly the same keys. So you can process the data from Rightmove or from Zoopla or from On the Market or from whatever else site, just within the single pipeline, and that's really great basically. So that's the reason why I just grabbed the entire stuff. And here, by the way, some features that are not extracted by default just being added later on, which is also pretty nice. But let's start from the very basics at the beginning here. So I just save these features. Now I just pause the record and get rid of the selectors. Okay, so I've just deleted all the selectors, and now let's simply say print and json.dumps and the features, and specify that indentation equals to 2 spaces. Well, at the moment I believe I would see actually the empty dictionary here. And if it works, then I will just store the response over here, and then I will just start using my local copy of the current page just to extract the data properly. So now let's run this code one more time. So now I hope to see this empty dictionary. So just checking for typos, possible typos, things like that. Okay, so it seems to be just perfectly, it looks perfectly well. Okay, so now what we need to do here basically, well, I can put this code, this is the temporary code, so I just say with open, I call this response.html. I want to write the file stream as file, and simply say f.write, and I'll be using response.text to just store all the textual response out for this particular URL. I mean, for in our case we'll be scraping this one, so we'll store the response for this one. So for this particular URL, so all the stuff available here. So this is the exact data we're supposed to be scraping. Okay, yeah, lots of things here. So try to make use of it. Okay, title, description, price. For some reason I can't really see some extra data before the price, which usually appears on Zoopla and on Rightmove. Let me just quickly check that out. If it's okay, offers over. Okay, so I will also need this is what I was talking about basically. Offers over. Okay, let's try some other here. It's really, well, when you're doing a real job, it's really important to be really precise regarding the data itself. So you can't just scrape something, you need to scrape exactly the same data the client wants to be extracted, basically. So okay, so we'll need this this kind of thing here. So well, basically, you know, probably in this case, let me have a look at the description. It doesn't contain that much of what I like. Okay, this description looks more decent. So probably I will just, yeah, it would be easier just to main list, or I could have do this within the Python, but I just don't want to spend time writing extra logic on doing that. So I just try to, how can I save this? Can I save the HTML? Downloads, settings. How can I store the HTML page? Just wondering. Oh, save as. Okay. So desktop and on the market spiders. Let's call this response.html. And okay, and just save it. Oh, it's quite pretty big. Probably it's saving all the assets as well. Oh, it's not really that great basically, but okay, let me just have a look. For some reason, why doesn't it show it here? Because probably the download has not been completed yet. Probably he stores all the assets. Well, doesn't matter. Well, still, I really need to make use of this extra data after the price. On Zoopla, on the market, it appears to be before the price. Okay, response.html was saved. Okay, here it is. So I'm not gonna open this within the code editor because it would just fucking hand. So let me try to open this response like this. Okay, seems like a reasonable response here. So I'll probably be using this copy, my local copy, to extract data from. So do we need this anymore? Not really. And this is the list of the cards, property cards. Okay, so we'll be working with this one. Great. I'm just really wondering why is this so big? It was downloaded for ages. So properties. Just want to have a look. Well, 188 kilobytes. Not really that much. Why was downloaded so slowly? This is a little bit strange, but doesn't matter really. Well, okay. So forget this line. So we would actually want to create a content variable instead, equals to empty Python string. And we want to read file stream instead. And here we say just for line in app.read and content plus equals line. Okay, and now we need to create to fake the response. So as far as we're not going to be calling this parse list method from within the spider, but just directly, the response variable won't be anymore a response object. So I will just pass the empty string there or something just as a placeholder. So we need to create the variable called response that would act exactly the same like response object, in terms of we'll be able later on to say like res.css and make use of the selector. So in order to do that, we need to make use of the selector constructor here and just say the text is equal to content. I hope I remember this. Just call this debug. Data extraction. I will delete this later on. I'm not gonna keep this in the production version for sure reason. But I believe that from now on we can actually say like response.css and all this stuff. So we don't want to invoke the crawler process here, and instead we just want to say commercial sale dot parse listing, okay, and pass the commercial sale instance. So, you know, like when you create a constructor, like object using the constructor like this, you don't need to actually pass this. But when you didn't yet create the instance, so if you're not creating an instance in Python, but just directly calling the method of some sort of a class, in that case you need to explicitly provide that self instance. So it kind of been created just here basically. So this self argument would represent actually the commercial sale instance like that. So this is a little Python object-oriented programming X course here, and we'll use just the empty string as a placeholder to fake the response object, as far as it doesn't know the type of this response when is being used outside of the context of the SCRAPY request itself. Okay, so now I believe it should have just print the features, and that's kind of it. So let me just quickly check that as well. String has no media. Okay, so also we need to comment out some parts of the code that are specific to actually specific to this response object. So we'll be debugging them later on. So just in order to extract the ID and the URL, well, we can basically start all of that. So that's basically possible, but we'll just make use of not in here, but say in here. We'll just grab the URL and maybe using the Python console to create a line to extract. We need to extract this ID and the URL in general. So that's the request of the client at least. But actually, to make it work at this moment, outside of the request content, we need to command that stuff out. So let me just try this one more time. Okay, now it works just perfectly well. Okay, well, let's basically start by extracting the ID and the URL. Well, even though we won't be able to test this just right in a moment, still that needs to be done in any case. So it seems like this channel commercial is the same everywhere. Let me just quickly check that out, and if it is, yeah, then we can use this part of string as the delimiter. So let's grab the entire string. Basically, I just want to copy this, and now just create a new tab, invoke the Python interpreter, and I just call the URL string here, and just paste what we got there. And now let's play around with splitting this. So if I say URL split, and we need to use this part as a delimiter, so I just copy and paste, and I want to use the very first element, so this kind of part, the first index is index of 0, the first element, and then, well, let's actually see this. Okay, great. And now we need to extract this, so let's try to now this should be split by the slash, and we want to make use of the very last element here. Okay, so this is the logic to extract the ID of the particular property. So just copy this code and paste it over here within the ID. As far as we don't yet have the URL, so it's not the URL itself, it would be actually response.url, and this would be response that you roll without any splitting. But we also need to actually comment this out for a while because we don't have the response object available at this moment. Okay, so now let's get the very gist of web scraping basically. So let's start with the title. Okay, so I'm just going to the target page. So the title here is this one, the land for sale. This is considered to be a title. So just view the page source. Oh my god, now don't need that. I just need to inspect the element. Okay, so this is the H1. Details hidden, panel content. Well, probably details hidden would be just fine. So I say response.css, div details hidden first. Okay, copy, and here response.css div with the class of details hidden, and then we need to find here within this div. Okay, it's the only h1 here, right? So it's the only h1, and this seems to be the only paragraph as well. Also it has the oh no, the paragraph is not the only one. So it also, there is the price paragraph. Oh, the structure is on the market is quite pretty nice. Okay, but still the h1 is unique. That's why we probably can make use of it. So again, CSS and h1, we want to extract the text out of the h1 tag, and we want to get the only element. So okay, we don't need any more this ID extraction logic. So I can close that tab and run this again. Okay, so we have our land for sale. Great. And now let's extract the address. So address. Okay, so if I was sure that there are only two kind of P classes. Okay. Oh, but basically, hold on a sec. So is this, I'm not sure why is this I'm just wondering, are they the same level? Yeah, they are the same level. Yeah, so if I only, okay, probably I have no other choice basically. So if I have a look at the same part on the different card here, then again, so it seems like the fixed structure, so the two paragraphs, so the address would probably always be the very last one, so I can make use of the -1 index to pick up the very last P tag, paragraph tag. So let's probably try to do that as well. So we also need div details hidden here, .css, so copy this and .get. So no, I need the get all and the -1, and in this case I need the paragraph and extract the text out of that. So let's check that as well. Okay, so it seems like the address being extracted correctly, but this definitely this obviously this needs to be checked that out within the bulk of property cards. Okay, now let's move on to the price. It's slightly easier because the price has the class. So within this guy we need okay, the guide price. Yeah, this is the exact information I was talking about basically. So mortgage options. I'm not sure what is this all about. Probably my client will ask me to scrape this stuff, but for now on he doesn't, so it's just fairly enough to make use of this first two spans. Okay, so price data and info. Great. So P price data and info. Okay, so well, another thing to consider, just to make the code look like slightly bit more pretty, I used to use this sort of a formatting. So unfortunately Python does allow you doing things like this. Okay, so now we need to extract the price, and also in the previous scrapers I had the price info before the price itself, so I will follow that guideline here as well. Okay, so .css, we're looking for the p tag of the price. Is that called price? First one, yeah, price class, and then we're looking for the span class, the span tag, span price info, or price data. Okay, price data, span price data, like this, I believe, and we need to extract the text out of it, and we want to get the only one, but this would be the second part, and the first part would be, so just copy this and paste, and here I just want to say plus. Okay, here we'll be using the span info, right? How that called? Span class info. Okay. Span info, and also probably we need to add a new an empty space, a white space there. Okay, let's actually try to see what we got here. Okay, offers over, and this is it. And if that would be the guide price, it would be just right before the price, and this is really nice. Okay, so pretty nice basically. And now it goes all about the agent information, so link, name, address, and phone. Okay, so let's go to the target page again here and see what we got regarding the agent. Okay, we got the address, the name. So first we need to extract the agent link, agent name, agent link. They're probably almost like the same. So can I open this in a new tab? Is this a link basically? I'm just wondering. It seems like. Okay, great. So let's inspect this element. This would be the agent link. Okay, agent name. Great, but what about, so panel content. Okay, so let's make use of this guy first. So div class panel contact. So response dot css div and the panel content and dot css, and we just go further on here. So it seems like the only link, is this the only link? We visit agent's website. No, it's not the only one, unfortunately. So probably, well, but at least it seems to be the first one. So I believe that would work with a get method as well. So panel content, and then just try to extract this a tag. So we need the attribute of the href, and right, we need to get what is in there. Okay, so here is the agent link. Now just to make sure that it is actually the agent link, so this is very important, by the way, when you're doing somewhat a real project. The best mortgage, John Carcall, independent mortgage expertise. Why choose John Carcall? Well, seems like an agency. Seems like an agency. I'm not sure. We're open as normal, even assuming the COVID-19. Yeah, I don't know if whether this is cool or not. It's not easy. It's not that easy to judge, basically. Okay, nevertheless, it doesn't really matter regarding this video. So now we can extract, so the panel contact, well, probably can just simply extract this agent name because it seems to be really unique. Agent name. So the agent name would be copy, and here dot CSS. So we're looking for the h2 tag called with the class agent name, and let's run the code one more time. Oh my god, what's gonna run here? Oh, I forgot to get this, of course. Get, okay, yeah, agent name. Oh, I forgot. Oh my god, I forgot to specify the text. Okay, CSJ estate agents Goliath Wood. Okay, so it's different compared to what I was looking for, because yeah, but hold on a sec. CSJ estate agents Goliath Wood. So yeah, this is the link, right? CSJ find the best mortgage. Oh, it's not that. Hold on a sec. It's not that. Find best mortgage. Oh, agent link. Okay, I just specified the class. There is the class brilliancy. So just to make sure that I'm grabbing the exact URL. Okay, so a dot agent. Yeah, that was a little bit of a bug there. So agent link. Well, now hope this works. This gives the exact URL. Okay. CSJ estate agents Colors Wood. Well, yeah, now this is right. So let's actually try to have a look at this link one more time. Okay, this is now, it's within the on the market. This is the agencies page, basically. Great. So yeah, this is really nice. Okay. Let's move on. So what else? So the agent address. Let's try to see one. Okay, this seems to be the agent address. Inspect. Okay, so let's try to just find the agent address within. So is this kind of it within the div panel content? Agent address. Well, I believe this is possible to do like that. Okay. Copy. And this is the real web scraping, guys, by the way. So that's how exactly my daily job actually looks like. So agent address, I forgot the tag name. Div agent address. Okay, so div dot agent address, and I need to say that on the market really has a nice structure of its data. Representation really better than Zoopla or Rightmost, at least to my personal, in my personal opinion. So also we need to get one. Okay. So okay, probably we need to replace the new lines and strip this stuff. So I can simply say replace replace new lines with nothing. I believe this is just fine, and also we need to strip this string, so just to extract the only address, and that's kind of it. Great. Okay, so what else? Agent phone. Okay, agent phone. It's probably within the agent contact, agent phone link, and oh my god, SVG row. Okay. I'm not sure how exactly. Row image. If I just try to extract this kind of guy here, I'm not sure if it works, but SVG icon phone, copy. Well, let's try at least. So make use of this a little bit later on, so copy, paste, and here I say dot CSS and svg dot icon phone. We need to extract all the text out of it and get. I'm not sure whether it works or not. Let's see. Agent phone is null. I did something wrong apparently. I'm not sure why exactly that happens. Is this stuff actually within the panel content? Yeah, it seems like. Yeah, it's definitely within. So maybe I just need to provide this in between agent phone link svg. Oh, then it's not like, it's just, what is this use tag all about? I'm just wondering. Or this is within the div. Oh, it's probably within the div. So yeah, I just missed this. So yeah, that was just yeah, it was just not exactly the same. That was div dot, that was the element for the image. It didn't relate to text at all. So div agent phone link seems more reasonable. I hope to see the phone now. Okay, probably we can strip this as well. Okay, so dot strip, just to get rid of this nasty white space at the very end, or if it was at the very beginning, at the very end, or at the very beginning of the string. So just to make to extract only the phone number, and that's it. Okay, now let's move to the image URLs. So by saying image URLs, client actually means the list of these images. Well, it's not really that easy. It's not always that easy to extract those URLs, because this might be just the thumbnail. So let's basically try to see how exactly this works. Unfortunately, I can't extract all the images of the card, because it would also extract these guys, which is not necessary, which is actually wrong. So image, picture, image. What about these guys? I'm just wondering. Okay, no, not these guys, Hold on a sec. If it just move, why, for some reason, why it doesn't actually, why it's not clickable? Just wondering. Well, I could have basically tried to extract all the images from all the page. I don't know. Picture. Is this the only picture tag? Let's have a look. I want to see the source code. Okay. Picture. Okay, hold on a sec. Hold on. Is this all this guy seems to be just the pictures related. Oh, this would be really nice. Okay. Whoa, this is really so good. This is great. So we need all the picture tags. Great. And actually, like source set. So we need to extract the source set. Okay, so let's try to implement that data extraction logic as well. So I say response.css. We're looking for the picture tag, and within the picture tag we're looking for how is that called? Source. This is an interesting name for the tag. You know, like even though doing web scraping professionally for quite a bit of time, still I'm encountering the tag names that really confuses me that much. Okay, so source, image res files, sec, is this one the one we need? Yeah, definitely. So the source, and we need to extract the source set attribute. So we're looking for the source, and we need to extract the attribute called source set. Seems like it's right, and we need to get all available out of there. So the type of those images would be the Python list, basically. Okay, so let's try to grab the URL and at least to see if there is gonna be some sort of an image or not. Well, at least I hope so. Land for sale. Oh my god, it's not that what I need. So we can make use of all the picture tags, unfortunately. Maybe this one still be just fine. Well, if this was just a regular web scraping tutorial, I wouldn't be bothered regarding that, of course. But as far as this is the real project, okay, the thumbnail, I don't really need the thumbnail. Okay, so it grabs more than I need, basically. So I need to limit those pictures somehow. So let's try to have a look. So it seems like it also extracts the correct pictures, but even more after. So probably this one is the one that we already don't need. Let me check that. No, this actually the one that we do need. So this is the div all item. Oh my god, div all item. Is this still the one we need? Yeah. So okay, let's try to add another selector all item. Okay, let's see if it works. So okay, dot css div all item. Maybe it now works better. I'm not sure. Still too many of them. Yeah, probably would be the same shit as before, unfortunately, I believe. Yeah. So what are we supposed to do? So probably yeah, so can use that sort of and how basically, how on earth to know when do we need to stop iterating over the pictures? Some sort of a unique, okay, image 5, image, we need to find some sort of a unique something unique to the pictures that actually contain the reasonable data. So on the market, image 5, what is this? Okay, so the size, we can distinguish by the size. So I also want to try to check this one. Copy. Is this a big picture? Yeah, it is. So what I mean by saying that, guys, you see, like here we have this 1024 to 1024 basically, yeah, and this guy's like 81 to 55. Well, maybe just, you know, like let's go the Komoki King way. So if I just copy this and try to filter our array slightly bit using the list comprehension technique. So here I just say if this kind of line not in image, right, and here I just say image for image in, and then the list where we're iterating over. So, well, now I hope, oh my god, what's gonna run here? Get all, oh, sorry, no need for a comma here. The comma needs to be here as instead. Okay, now it seems like we've just extracted only the reasonable images. So yeah, great. So now this is it. So see here, the dimension is 1024 multiplied by 1024, and that's kind of it. And also maybe we could have make use of this web P instead of GPG. Let me just quickly check that out as well. That would be probably, oh no, they're still web P. Yeah, so the current version would be claimed to be the correct one, basically. Okay, so yeah, now this is kind of it. And now now we're gonna come into the very challenging and interesting part. So this kind of features are the most sensitive for my client. So okay, let's try to see if there is any floor area available on the listing itself. So we need to find the floor area if that is available. Oh my god, I can't see the floor area. Well, it is available within the description, but you know, like on Zoopla you have, I can bring close my developer tools, and that changed something. So on Zoopla and on the market and on Rightmove, you have the floor area in the square fits being available just as a separate view element, but I don't see something the same here on Rightmove for some reason. This is really unfortunate, to be honest. So I can't see that square fit. So let's try to pick some random one again. So just try to look for the square meters. Oh, this is so nice. For Ukrainian people, it's far better to understand in square meters, because we have no fucking idea about the square fits, like how big that is. Well, we know that in theory, but in practice that seems to be impractical for us. Okay, but where do you find actually? I don't even see it. Okay, so again, just within the description. Well, I don't really want to disappoint my client, but it seems like the floor area is not available that nicely here, and also no things like the key features. So they have just the bare description, and that's kind of it. Wow. So let me just have a look. So we don't have the floor area, so the key features, yeah, so it's really just like the same as the full description, basically. Yeah, just pause the recording. You need to think a little bit how to make this. Okay, so for the very first task deliverable, I would probably consider just to parse this bare property description, and that's kind of it. And I will be waiting for the further instructions from my client, basically. But just to point out a few things. So see, like here in this particular listing, we have just the bare text, and that's it. But here we have some sort of a structured text. So what my client likes to do, so this kind of features like location, description being in separate, and terms and planning, all this stuff, he considers these guys to be very important features for his machine learning tasks. So I really need to be very precise and make sure to scrape all of them. So but here you see like this div class description, yeah, maybe it is this. So div class description basically. So here it has not only the bare text information, but also a lot of tags. So we'll need to scrape the data recursively. Scraping the text information from the child tags as well as from the parent tag. And I just want to make sure that the name for this div is the same everywhere. Yeah, it seems like so. Div class description, but here no child tags. So here is a little trick, and I'll show you just right in a moment. And it would probably be more clear when we crawl all the listings basically. But let me just it's far easier to explain to show rather than to explain. So here the full description. Well, I'm not sure, maybe I should have put this with the key features at some point. If I only had, okay, let me just reference my Zoopla scraper, just recall my memory a little bit. So here I was parsing the description and the key, and the key features wasn't that much, but did I? Okay, so yeah, the key features was actually the different HTML element. That's why I did need to extract this as well. But here there doesn't seem to be somewhat different view elements for the key features, so they all being dumped within the full description. Okay, so response.css div and description. Is that it? But I need to make sure. Okay, just I'm starting to hand a little bit because probably was talking in foreign language for slightly for kind of too much time at this moment already. Okay, so we need not only to extract the text, but also to make sure to extract the text from the child nodes, if any. So instead of, if I just specify this extract text in this sort of format, it would just extract the text from the div description. So in order to make sure to scrape the text, to extract the text out of the children tag, we need to add the space and the star. Star means that all the child nodes would be scraped as well. So let me just quickly check that as well. So yeah, here is the format. It was quite a bit of challenge to find this on the Stack Overflow. For me, it's not really that easy. Okay, and also we need to, well, probably as far as it's not really that big line, not really long, we can say just get all, and that's it. Let me just check if really are about to get all. Yeah. And yeah, so we also need to filter. Well, this logic, let me just explain the reason behind this. I'll probably just either, it would be easier to grab this. So when there are some child tags within the description, it might often happen that some of them just contain the new lines and tabs and no information, and in that case we actually need to filter them. So first we're filtering using the simple list comprehension. So we're just saying if the feature is not equal to nothing, then we want to add the feature to the new list and want to replace the new lines to this carriage return characters, the tabs, and also want to strip the stuff. So here just div description, and that's it. This should work. And even then, this list did result some empty elements. It's hard to explain, it just did result. So that's the reason why I need to filter this one more time. And the Python 3 specific that you need to list the filter object, because filter object is not the list. when it returns. So, well, I think this should work basically. So let me just try to see how it's supposed to look like. Okay, so this is really great. You see, like, accommodation, proposed accommodation. So all the new line structure has been actually replicated, which is really great. So where is my local home? Okay, so you see here, like, yeah, description, and then the new line, this CSG property agents, blah blah blah, and this is the second line. So my client really loves that. And then the number, and this is the another element here, and then the accommodation, and then all those sensitive features. So this is the exact format that my clients really loves for his machine learning reasons at some point. Not really exactly sure why. Not exactly sure. I'm not. Oh my god. I don't know why exactly he needs this in this sort of a format, but at least this what perfectly satisfies him. Okay, so yeah, definitely. I wasn't ever probably talking that long in a foreign language, so I feel a bit tired already at this moment. Okay, guys, so now let me have a look at the output again. So last 30 days, well, this is the Zoopla specific. Since listed, it's also the Zoopla specific keys that we don't have them on Rightmove. We also don't have them on the market as well, so just probably get rid of them. Doesn't seem to have any key features, so I will also probably get rid of them, as well as the floor area. So let's have a look at the final data set item example here. So we have a title, address, price, agent stuff here, image URLs, full description in the structured format. Yeah, seems to be just nice. So now it's probably time to hold my breath and to uncommand all this ID, URL, and postcode related stuff here. Well, I can just command this out for a while, but obviously I will remove this later on within the production version of this code. So also need to uncommand the forwarding data code, so just to get it, postcodes and the file names out of the meta container. And what else? So the very last thing left here is just to add the logic of, okay, so also need to extract the floor plan if available. Okay, so, oh my god, I also forgot yeah, to handle the coordinates if available. This is very important, so it's not yet the end. Okay, yeah, so it's, well, first, so let me just grab the lines that would actually append the data to the output file. So we're opening the file name. So remember that the file name is extracted right in here, file name, and this is the exact path. So to the output folder, and the file name, like commercial sale and the current date. And we want to write, we want to append, not write, we want to append the file stream one by one. So if crawling subs for some reason, we don't lose any data, but we just get all we got at that particular moment. So also we write in this particular features, right, with the indentation equals to 2 spaces followed by the new line, and that's the specification for the so-called JSON-L or JSON line format, where you have this like when you have this like JSON objects delimited by the new line. Well, I believe still it's possible basically to run this code, but before, well, no, probably I really need, so I just don't really want to do doing this at the moment, so yeah, it's slightly a bit too early. So we also need at least try to extract the coordinates. And what was there else? And the floor plan URL. Yeah, so let's probably start with the floor plan URL. I hope I hope that will be easier. Okay, so the floor plan URL, let me show you what I mean by saying that. So the floor plan, where is the floor plan? I can't see the floor plan. Maybe it's not available. Maybe here. Oh, come on, I saw the floor plan there. Where is the fucking floor plan? I swear I saw the floor plan. Okay, so I'll just leave. Well, this one doesn't seem to make sense anymore. Well, probably the rest of debugging process would already be done within the actual crawling. Well, experience, at least my experience suggests that as a solution. Okay, this is very strange. Maybe if I just close photo map, here has to be the floor plan tab. Why there is no one? Come on, guys, I need a floor plan at least somewhere. Okay, floor plans, great, finally. Okay, I swear, I remember there was some floor plans. So let's try to inspect this element. I hope there would be some simple selector for that. Oh, it's a picture. Oh, how can I? So alt alternative. Maybe this is the exact. I forgot the word. Fuck, how this is called? Feature attribute. Maybe this is the exact attribute to find the floor plan. Yeah, I guess. Picture. So image source. Maybe I can just basically look for the image with this alt floor plan attribute. Well, I believe that's the way to go. So I'm trying to extract the floor plan, so if available or if it's not available. So I just I used to enclose this with the try except statement. So let me just see, why did I? Yeah, this is something Zoopla specific, definitely. So features floor plan, I say image, but there might be many images. So I'm just really wondering, maybe I just use the get all. Well, it already needs some testing basically. There might be many pictures or many. Well, probably let's try start with the images and see what happens later on. So response.css, we're looking for the image tag, and I'm not sure. Probably alt equals floor plan like this. I'm not really sure that this is the right syntax for SCRAPY selectors. Definitely will know if that is actually or not. And here we need to select the attribute source, right? And try to get all. Okay. Is that a case? Floor plan. Yeah, seems like to be it. So yeah, now it's time to hold my breath and command the output writing code and also all this kind of stuff. now see the beauty that after we did command our selector creation code with the content loading from the local file, followed by creating the selector object. But now we just make use of our response object. So before this was commanded, we did use the selector, the rest was the select type of selector, and now this would be the actual HTTP response. But it also can be used as a selector. It also can be used to retrieve the URL and the specific identifier for each list and so on. So let me just check everything one more time. Do we need to print? Well, probably we don't this anymore. Floor plan URL if available, and then that would leave the latitude and longitude as well. Okay, so now I hold my breath and try to get the data for all of the listings within the first page. String object has no attribute meta. What? Postcode line 90. This is really strange. Postcode response meta. Oh, of course it doesn't. So I'll probably just time to get rid of this. Yeah. So I just forgot the very main. Just to uncommand my my crawling my scraper invocation. Okay, here we go. Oh, why it was so fast? Oh, well, probably that's because yeah, what? Oh, non-type and string. So yeah, we need to bring it outside to check if the price information exists, basically. Okay. Okay, let me think. So I just need to take this away, save, and yeah, also I will need to uncommand this break to loop over all of the cards, but yeah, for now it's just fine. So how I call this? Extract coordinates, extract floor area, key features. Whoa, so it probably... Oh, this is the trick I've been using just to stringify everything out there. Oh, okay, yeah, this is really nice. This is the technique I've invented during implementing my Zoopla scraper. So yeah, I will make use of this technique here as well. So we need just to stringify this stuff to make sure if this is none, well, in that case, yeah, in that case, we won't get that error, and also we don't really want to have that none word, so we need to replace the none with the nothing and strip. Probably we don't need to strip, but so yeah, what have I done? How is that possible, actually? Oh, nope. This is really strange behavior regarding the editor. Okay, I did this by hands. This was the way of doing things, basically. So now let's stringify the entire stuff, and okay, and here we want to replace, if there are any non-keyword, we want to replace this with nothing. And do we need to strip that? It's not it's always a good idea to strip the string. Okay. Yeah. Now probably I like this. Or hold on a sec, we didn't even need that, I believe. We didn't need, we just, as far as this was already, okay, maybe just leave it as it is. Agent link, yeah, forgot the comma. Don't need a comma here, I guess. Okay, so it did scrape the only element. Now let's have a look at the output. So only the price with nothing with no additional things there. Hey, why the floor plan is? Oh, the floor plan is just not available. That's because so it's the empty list, no URLs here. So the full description. Ah, and that's not the one I've been parsing as this response, so it's different data already. The first element. Okay, so just delete this. No need for that anymore. Okay. Actually, I cannot delete this because the file name would be it would create a new file, even though it appends to the previous. But as far as the date and time has been changed, it would create a new file in any case. Okay, so close without saving. Don't forget to change this to DA1. Okay. I need to remove the break while iterating over the cards. Here, this one. Yeah. Save. Okay, so hold my breath, and now we're trying to crawl through all the cards, so through all the property listings out there. For some reason we don't we probably don't really even need to bring the debugging information regarding the pagination, because we don't really handle the pagination at the moment. Okay, so I just want to see. Okay, so the price is been appended if available. Here is no info available, not appended. Great. Postcodes CR0 everywhere the same, which is okay at the moment. So the description, yeah, the description looks nice. So the floor plan, so just wondering, so there has to be the floor plan somewhere. Okay, so we got some floor plan here. Let's just check that out, if that is actually a floor plan, not some sort of a shit. Yeah, seems like a great floor plan image. Okay, so this already looks like a test, a sample data set that I would probably send to my client and wait for his further instructions, basically. But regardless of that in particular, in any case, I would need to provide some sort of a logic. Okay, I'm just checking this out. Image URLs are not available. Are you fucking kidding me, man? How is that possible that image URLs are not available? This seems to be slightly bit strange. Well, maybe I won't be covering this in this video, just in order to wait this video on forever. This is really strange. So probably if it has the only image, then yeah, the selector might be a little bit different. Image source. Wondering why this happens. Oh, that's probably because I did wrap this to a div containing all the images. Well, if I just try to get rid of that. Okay, so where are my images? Well, now it should look better, I believe that. So just save the file, right? Okay, so let's scroll this one more time. So I don't need this file anymore. As I was mentioning, it creates a new file because the date is different. Close without saving. Okay, decrawl this thing. So oh, image URLs are not available at all. Oh my god. Okay, well, okay guys, you know, I just thought that you're probably not really interested in watching me debugging this image extraction logic here. So the way I go, I would basically I would just leave this as is for a while, and before actually sending this code to my client, I would make sure to alter the image extraction logic. So let's better have a look well, at the coordinates, right? So just not to forget to check the image URLs, and also let's see if I can easily get the coordinates. Every site considers this to be slightly bit different, so I'll not inspect, just page source. So the way I used to do this, I'm just trying to search for the latitude or the longitude keywords. Doesn't seem to be there. Okay, probably we'll drop this for this video as well, even though I will try to find some reasonable coordinates when I would be sending this to my client. But as far as this channel is dedicated to the web scraping, let's better instead try to handle the pagination, and here we'll be making use of dynamic pagination. I mean, by saying dynamic, I mean that the page number would always be different, and that's the reason to first try to extract the number of pages to crawl, and then actually to loop over that page range at some point. So this is exactly the logic that I've been using here in the Zoopla scraper. So trying to extract the total pages. So if that is possible, well, then I was just changing the self parameter is page number, and was altering the current page. Do I have the current page here? Current page equals to 0. Yes, I do. Also, I do reset this in the start request, right? Yes, I do reset that. Okay, so now we need to make sure if it is possible to extract the total pages from some sort of a view element, or otherwise we'll be trying to extract this of the script tag, if any available there. So what I just said. Okay, so let's go to some well, let's go here basically where we have the list. Is this the list? Yeah, so this is the exact page. So here at the very bottom of the page we have the pages to crawl. So what I need, I just try to inspect this, and I hope this would be okay. So these are the lists, so these are the view elements, which is already that really great. So there is the div class, page navigation, pagination tabs, and can I use the number of list items as, so what is this list item? Okay, this number of list items as the number of pages to crawl. Well, probably not, because if we just navigate to the second one, it would create another. So yeah, probably I will follow the logic like I did on Zoopla. So just try to extract those links and get the biggest number out of there, and use that number, the highest page value. Yeah, probably I'll go that way. Okay, so we have what do we have here? So inspect again. Yeah, so div class page nav and user list class pagination tabs. I'm just wondering if this is the only pagination tabs, if this is the only element. So I just need to have a look at the source code to make sure if that user list is unique to this page. Pagination tab. So this is some sort of a JavaScript logic to draw probably those page tabs. Yeah, but the view element seems to be the unique. So pagination tabs, user list, copy, and yeah. So this total pages, total pages. Okay, so parse links. So let me just store, oh my god, store the class name. So this will be the user list pagination tabs. Okay, and now I just try to grab the entire logic, crawling logic here, and explain this line by line basically. So paste. So we're first we're incrementing the current page, which is okay, right? Then we need to extract. Okay, so we don't need this stuff anymore. Not anymore, but at the moment. Okay. I just want to print the total page. Total pages here. Total pages, and also I don't want really to yield this as far as I am debugging my pagination crawling logic. Okay, so we just skip crawling all those pages, and here I want to bring the total pages, and here I just want to bring the exceptions just to make sure if the above code doesn't work. So exception. Okay, and so the only thing, well, we don't take int link for link in. Yeah, it would be almost the same, but yeah, it's better just to implement this from scratch, this kind of selector. So we need to look for all the list items, class arrow, previous page, page 1, so all the links within this user list class. Okay, let's try this. So I say response dot CSS, and here just the one I've grabbed, cut, and yeah, I feel a bit tired already, to be honest. Okay, and here we're looking for all the A tags, right? We need to extract the attribute of hrefs and get all. Okay, maybe not the not exactly. So on Zoopla there was like the textual information like 1, 2, 3 and all the pages, but here it seems to be like page 1, page 2. So we need the title, not the href, and we need to extract the biggest title out of there, right? So not the href, but the title, get all. And also it would be nice to convert to extract only the digits, well, but basically we can just split this, and yeah, we can split by the empty space and take the very last argument. Okay, not everything at the same time, so let's have a look at the total pages. So how many we have there basically. And as far as I implement this, I would stop this video because I'm really tired working and talking at the same time, to be honest. Okay, so page 1, page 2, and next page. Right, now we need to split this stuff by, or probably probably the white space is the standard way of splitting, so we don't need to provide any elements there. -1, okay, so it should be 1, 2, and page, right? Is it exception? Why the exception there? Oh, because yeah, sorry, it's the list. We can't do it like that. So we can't really do this in that sort of way. So page 4, page in this stuff, and the page, we need to split the page, so I say split and use the very last element, and we also need to convert this to integer, right? If page dot split the very last element dot is digit equals to true, which is should have been by default true. Okay. Okay, great. So we have 1 and 2, and we didn't use that page like this one, previous page, and that's called the page. So we didn't use this page, just 1 or 2. And now we can apply the max standard method to get the maximum element, which would serve actually as the filler to find the biggest element within the list, assuming that there are integers. Yeah, you know, like really lots of topics has been covered here. So yeah, we got the number of total pages, which is equal to 2, which is really perfect basically. Okay, so that means that we are about to crawl to pages, so let's move on basically. So no need to print the total pages anymore, and here, so what we got later on, so self parameters PN, what stands for the page number. In case of on the market, it's just called the page. So where is that? Parse links. Yeah, so here I just need to say that it's just a page equals to self current page, which already been incremented after we did successfully walk through all the elements within the first page. So by default this would be 0, current page would be 0, so current page would be 9. Okay, and create next page link. Okay, this is gonna be interesting, so just comment this stuff out for a while. So here we're creating the next page URL, and I want to print it basically. So let's try to print next page. So it should be literally the same as the current page, but the page number should be incremented by 1. So now we'll check that out as well. So first crowd. Okay, this is it. Yeah, So CR0, page 0, radius 3. And here is the next page. Okay, CR0, page 1, radius 3. Great. And then it stopped. I'm not sure why did it stop there. Well, actually, this is correct because there are only 2 pages to crawl. Oh, well, that's because we didn't recursively call the parse, the self-parse listings. Yeah, so that's kind of right. The parse links. I mean, the parse links is called recursively here until we reach the maximum number of pages. Yeah, quite fun that I understand what am I explaining basically even now. Since the beginning of this video. Okay, so no need to print the next page anymore. And now, so we're asking if the self.current page, so in our case this is equals to 1, is less or equals than total pages. Okay, this case we're printing the debugging information. Okay, and we're actually why am I using response follow for some reason maybe? Oh, yeah, that's just the construct. So we're navigating to the next page URL, providing all the same headers, all the same meta elements, and we're calling back the parse links recursively, what I've just mentioned. So I hold my breath, and now I hope that 2 pages would be actually crawled over here. So yeah, so did I remove all the unnecessary print statements? Yeah, seems like it is. Now I hope this would crawl 2 pages, page equals to 0 and page equals to 1. Yeah, and it prints exactly like the first page out of 2 pages and the second page out of 2 pages as well. Great. So here is page, oh, page equals to 2. It's not good. It's not good really, because, but why the fuck did he actually successfully crawl this page? I'm really wondering, is there something actually? This is strange, and this needs to be checked that out. Page 2. I'm really wondering. Oh, no results. You see, like, no results here, so that's kind of wrong. So we need to alter our code a little bit. So not in our case, as far as we started, not from the 1 but from the 0. It shouldn't be less than, but only less. Otherwise, we won't succeed in crawling the listings. Okay. One of 2. Yeah, he prints this just once, and that's just okay. It just doesn't print this because the second time because it prints only if it crawls the next page basically. But probably we can move this. So current page and the total pages. Yeah, it's probably just more reasonable to put this line of code before. Yeah, I think this seems to be more reasonable. Okay, let's try this one more time. I'm not sure why did I do so in Zoopla. Maybe that's even wrong, but well, probably just leave that. Okay, so 1 of 2, 2 of 2, and the very last like page equals to 0. What? But why the page equals to 0 all the time? Okay, page equals to 0, right? Oh, page equals to 1. Oh, that's okay. This was just the refer. Sorry guys. So yeah, debug crowd and page equals to 0, no refer, and here page equals to 1. Oh, finally. Yeah, now it seems to be just okay, and we're just working with the first code out of 13, 16 postcodes in general. Well, it seems pretty nice. Okay, so now I can actually try to uncomment this stuff here and I hope to see the output from 2 pages instead of 1. So let me just quickly try to do that as well. So now in between of this data, it should have also crawling just the listings within the single given page, and now it's crawling for the second page. It's not always in that order, as far as SCRAPY uses asynchronous 8 workers by default, so 8 concurrent requests. Okay, so now the data seems to be much bigger compared to the initial one. So yeah, this is quite pretty lot of data here. Great, and the very last thing to consider here, before I just end up this video, I wanna uncommand the logic of crawling through the postcodes just to make sure that it does crawl and the debugging information is correct as well. So first let's drop it back to DA1 like this, and by the way, this time it should have get only the only page. That's important thing to note as well. So let's first test that as well, and then I will just fake the postcodes JSON file. Okay, so first, just to make sure that I would crawl the only page over here, and this is it, and we're done. Okay, and only the couple of properties, just exactly as it was. Great, I remember there was, there was. Okay, there were only 2 properties. Oh my god, I don't know how to say there was or they were. Fuck that. Okay, doesn't matter. So now let me just, okay, I'm on the market, so just copy the postcodes and paste, and this is the copy with the real postcodes, and this file now can be changed. So what I want to do here, I just want to grab kind of 3 postcodes, and what is that? No, it's not what I want, not what I meant, definitely. So again, like copy and delete all and paste, and so I just want to look only over 3 postcodes and through all the pages within this 3 postcodes, so I would be able to extract the data properly. I hope to being able to extract the data properly. And why the fuck? So it has to be DA1. Yeah, okay. And yeah, let's also close all this files here and delete this one, delete, and I hold my breath. Okay, before I hold my breath, I need to uncommand within the start requests this break. Okay, we'll check the count variable forwarding through the layers of the scraper as well now. Okay, now hold my breath and run this. So looping over, yeah, so you see like it was like first DA1, and then it just started immediately DA2, DA3, and then it goes for probably not really that much of data there, so it seems like it crawled all the pages. So DA1 had the only one, DA2 what? Filter duplicate requests. Get on the market details. Oh, some not really sure why this happened. Okay, needs to find out that as well. So let's check the data out. Well, it seems like, yeah, it seems like it's just almost perfect. So yeah, also I would need to extract the coordinates if available, and yeah, I'm just really tired guys, just to keep recording this video, because it's really tough to do your actual job and explain at the same time. But I just wanted to show you how we do this for real, basically, and how it feels, how it looks like. And probably for those of you who has been watching my web scraping tutorials and maybe my web scraping tutorials on demand as well, you probably notice that what I'm doing now is feels slightly a bit different compared to what I've been doing when I was doing that tutorial. So the real freelance job is kind of really somewhat a different thing compared to teaching others, trying to share your knowledge and experience. But this is all about trying to share my knowledge and experience as well. So okay guys, I will work on this code more, of course, because it still needs to be prettified a little bit, just adding more features, just make sure everything works correctly, and then I would just send this kind of code to my client. And for those of you wondering how much does it cost, well, of course it depends on the client and on your particular contract. Well, what I can say that I'm not doing this on Upwork, I'm doing this directly. So the client has found me on YouTube, and he just pays me directly. So we had a deal to actually the one deliverable costs $100. So I mean, like $100 for commercial sale, then another $100 for commercial rent, and then another for residential sale, residential rent, residential new homes, and so on, so on, so on. And as you have already seen that, fortunately, in order to convert this scraper in order to make possible to make this scraper actually extract the data from to rent, from the extract the rent data, we just need to change the file name here, file name over here, and change the base URL slightly. Probably we don't even need to change the parameters, as I did have to in the Zoopla scraper. So it's kind of the very core of the entire scraper, of the entire on the market scraper. So the structure is the same and the data is the same. It doesn't always happen like that. An example, in Zoopla, in order to scrape the rental data, it's completely different data extraction code, because it's structured completely different. Well, not completely, but slightly different maybe compared to the sales data. But what I can say about the Rightmove, the Zoopla, and the On the Market, they all are pretty the same. So no need to change that much, just a couple of lines of code. And even when I told my client, like, you know, it's probably too much to pay for every next scraper the same amount of money as for the previous, well, he actually replied that it's absolutely okay, because they are charging the deliverables, not the time and efforts. This is really nice for us freelancers from the getting paid perspective, from the perspective of getting paid. Okay guys, so I hope you've learned something interesting out of this tutorial. I tried to show you the development process while working on the real freelance project as is, and this is the exact code that I'm supposed to send to my client, has already been mentioned numerous times during this tutorial. So I hope you've enjoyed this, learned something interesting. I really hope this would motivate you to start your own freelancing career in the web scraping niche or field, or maybe you can pick up another one. Doesn't really matter that much, to be honest. So I really hope it helps. I wish you all the best. I wish you to stay calm during this tough coronavirus times. And basically this is it from my side, so until the next time, and take care.